to the message area. Okay, I just sent a link to the recording area. Please kindly click on the link and download the Tableau public. Let's do that in the next 1 to 2 minutes. Just click on the link and it should take you to a place like this. Oops. Wait, I'm trying to go to my Chrome.
Albert, is it
this interface? So once you come to this interface, you would need to create an account. Just fill in your details, your name, your first name, your last name, your email. Just put any role as you can say it's for students, yeah, as you want. Then you should be able to get it. Then you'd see the download the app. So once you download, then you install. Shouldn't take up to 5 minutes. So please, let's be fast with that.
All right. So while this is going on, sorry to interrupt. While this is going on, we'd like to quickly take the testimonial from one of our mentors. So, Damsel, that will be Femi. Do you want to make that call, please? Thank you.
So allow me. Did you say I could go?
Okay, it's fine. I guess I'll just do that then. So, within the 5 minutes you'll be downloading, please, I want you to listen attentively to a testimonial from one of our mentors on his journey through BlueSky. So this is Femi Adebanjo. This is another person, I'll be telling you all the people to be holding their shirt and their jacket. So hold Albert's jacket and shirt. Now, Femi, tear his clothes, hold him tight if you know you're a data analyst. So this will be a good opportunity for you to listen through to his journey and use that, to encourage yourself as this is doable now. And lastly, on the flip side, some people say, okay, I'm not a data analyst, so I don't need to listen thoroughly. I'm a Scrum Master. I use Tableau. If that answers your question, I think every other person should just listen in. So whether you want to or yes, most of these tools you end up having to use them, or even if you're not using them directly within your team, you might end up, needing it, for your graphical representation of some of the metrics or even any data within your squad. So please try and grab as much as you can today. And please don't stop downloading. Like I said, you have 5 minutes to do that. And within that same 5 minutes, we're trying to utilize our time as much as we can. So within that same 5 minutes, Femi will give us a go. Femi, over to you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Allow me. So good evening, everyone. My name is Femi Adebanjo. I was also an intern at BlueSky. I joined the program in 2024, I think, 2024 January. And yes, from there, it was like a change of career for me because I was switching from a different, I was doing my master's, but I didn't want to pursue that aspect. So I joined I've always been interested in data related roles anyway. So it was straightforward for me to sign up. And I signed up, and the experience I gained learning how to use, most importantly, Tableau, Power BI, also, brushing up my Excel skills. And also, I did a bit of SQL when I was in my undergraduate, but I didn't really, take it serious. But I did have a bit of experience on the platform, which, further deepened my understanding and knowledge of SQL. So those are big tools that you should know as a data analyst. So I, signed up to the program. From there, I started applying for jobs, and luckily I was able to land a role in data. Basically, I was applying for all data roles, and I just focused on healthcare basically. So my first job after the program, which was I think 3 months or 3 months or thereabouts after the program, I got a job as a data administrator for the palliative care department at an NHS trust. So that was my first role, where I spent about 7 months in that role. But the experience I gained was vital. I was able to use that experience to apply for, bigger jobs within the NHS, and I did get down the line a senior data manager role. which was like 3 bands ahead of what I started with. But all the experience, all the learning I got from Blue Sky, I was able to use those knowledge during my role. And you keep on learning anyway. But yes, in terms of healthcare, I do understand a bit of more of the data. That's what I specialize in right now, and I do what I do for the hematology oncology department, which is blood cancer basically. So I basically manage their data, and I manage a team of 2. So that's been my journey with Blue Sky. I sought out to change my career. I was more into other things basically. So I just wanted to get back into IT. I studied IT, but I wanted to get back into IT because I left. I did other things, but so Blue Sky was that start for me. Was that first start? I learned a lot. The teachers were great. The program, gave me a lot of experiences. A lot of things I learned were useful for me at the interviews. Yes, the interview prep was also important for me. So those are the things that I gained from the platform, and I have no doubt in my mind that I don't think I could have, if I did self learning, I don't think I would have done it by myself. So it was really, really insightful. And if you're joining as a data analyst, yes, you're going to be learning a lot of tools. It doesn't necessarily mean you're going to use all those tools at your job. Right now, I learned a lot of tools from Blue Sky, but on a normal day, I'm only just on Excel sheets and writing a few queries. There's usually other departments that do that. But yes, once you learn this particular course, it makes you more versatile. You can become anything basically. It gives you the edge. You could become something other than a data analyst. But because data is like the new oil, like they say, you learn it, you become more valuable as an employee to anyone really. You could do any role. If you take on this course, you could take on another course. It makes you more valuable, makes you more broad in terms of knowledge and understanding. So that's been my story with Blue Sky. If you're signing up, I hope you're going to enjoy it. Thank you. Allow me. I'm done.
Thank you so much, Femi. You see, I like all these data people. They talk too much, straight to the point. Hey, God, no. If it's we Scrum Masters that you call now, Mama Tojo, we will talk, 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 talk. Thank you so much, Femi. Really, for me, it was very insightful, straight to the point. Because some people always believe that you have to have all the wealth of knowledge, to be able to succeed. And, I also like the touch of where you said it took you about 3 months. Some people get their roles even maybe towards the end of the internship, some middle of the internship, some just a month after the internship. But Femi specifically said he got his 3 months after the internship. You still see some people that will get there as a year after the internship. It doesn't matter. We all have different graces, and we also have different push that we used to get the jobs. So thank you so much for mentioning the duration and how long it took you to get your role. And he was also as green as you on most of the other tools. I think it's just probably just SQL. He had a bit of on bit of knowledge on, and then came here to brush it up. So please, for everyone, just be open-minded. I know sometimes we've even learned from other platforms and all that, but we didn't have the practical hands-on experience or anything. In Blue Sky, we'll make sure you have that touch, the practical hands-on experience. So, and like I said, if you haven't registered properly, please do that so that you can gain as much as you can on the platform. Or there's no mentor that we call for you right now to come take you through the session that has not been at that end you are right now. Like, you are the opposite end of where I am right now. Yeah. So something like that. Everybody, we've gone through this whole process, and if 2 3 people are telling you this is what it's about, trust me, it's not about trying to sell any platform or anything. It's just us telling you directly, what we went through, to become or achieve the role that we're trying to seek today. So really, I'm wishing all of you the best. Thank you so much once again, Femi, for sharing your own side of things. Thank you. Um, Albert, are you ready for us? We're happy for you to share screen again. And
Okay.
if others can also, maybe if you have everybody, okay, I think I want to apply the style Deji showed us recently. So I hope people can do this. Everybody, please raise your hands up. Everybody, raise your virtual hands up. Please, everyone on the call, raise your virtual hands up if you're on the call right now. I want to see that everybody can raise their hands up. Everybody, please, everybody. I'm raising my own hands up too. Everybody, please raise your hands. If you do not know how to raise your hands, You go to reaction. On that, your reaction, somewhere around there, you see raise hands. But if you do not see you raise hands by your reaction, raise hands can be a standalone. So it depends on what you're using. So raise hands, you just see raise hands there. Just look below your screen. Everybody, I'm seeing a lot of people are here to raise their hands. Okay, everybody, nice, nice. Okay, I think I just have a few people that haven't raised their hands. Oh, these few people are still a lot, but please raise your hands. Keep it coming. Everyone raise your hands. Some people are clapping. Don't clap. Just raise your hands. Okay, yeah, I see you figured it out, John. That's good. Raise your hands. Raise your hands. Sometimes some people will say, "Oh, um, why are we trying to show people? Raise your hands. Tell them." Some people really do not know, so that's why we're saying you should do that. Okay, I'm seeing somebody giving us thumbs up. No, please raise your hands. Thank you. Raise your hands. You need to learn how to use all these tools, right? Now, the reason why we're raising all our hands is because all of us are going to do a hands-on session right now. And I want to confirm from everybody raising their hands, if you know that you have downloaded and installed the application, put down your hands. So all those that their hands are up, we know that you haven't finished downloading, right? So, Albert, I want to believe you get the gist from there. We have about 50 something people's hands up, and it was about 60 something, but it's dropping down. That means we've done it. If you know you have done yours, drop your hands. So, anybody that their hands are not up as we speak, that means that you have downloaded the app. So, I'm going to put down my own hands too, lower hands. So, I'm lowering my hands. So, that means we have 37 people, 36 people that have not downloaded. Those 36 people, we need you to be active tonight. Please try and download it. You have about a minute. So back to you, Albert. Let's see if people can install. All right. We want as many people to follow as they can today. So let me see if the numbers are dropped. Perfect. Beautiful. It's dropping more. It's dropping more. All right. It's dropping more. So we have 29 people that their hands are still raised. I'm tempted to probably pick somebody randomly and find out why they haven't downloaded theirs. Please make sure you download yours. If your hands are still up, that means you haven't downloaded. Thank you, thank you. Okay, 26 people have their hands up. Those 26 have not downloaded. Please try and make sure you download and install. Download what? We're downloading money. Money, money, money. Oh God, help me stop teasing. So you're supposed to download Tableau Public. Do you want to take this again, Albert? Some people don't even know what they're supposed to download. That means they've come in just a bit late. And please try and reshare the Juliet, please try and reshare the attendance for those people too. Thank you. All right,
Okay.
Albert, your show.
Okay, I'll take it again. Can everybody see my Chrome?
Yes, please.
Okay. Once
Yeah.
you click on the link, you get to this landing page. If you would see something like this, download, yes, this is where it will bring you automatically. So you would fill in your name, your first name, okay, let me even fill it in. I have an account already though, so let's say I fill this in using another mail and I say I'm a student. I say yes. The next thing it will do is to let me use the mail. If I download, it will come to this next page, asking for what type of laptop I use, and let me say Windows. Once I click Windows, automatically it will start downloading. So as you can see, it is downloading already. So I think that should actually help us. So I'm going to pause it because I actually do not need it. So I'll stop it. But usually once you're able to go through to download and you select your type of laptop, you should be fine. And that is about that. So, so can I move on now, please?
We have 22 people's hands up. I think really it's still a good number compared to 96. I want to believe, even if it's not the remaining 74 people that have downloaded, but at least a good number from the 74 people are ready for you tonight. So, and that number 22 has also come down to 21. So we're happy for you to proceed, Albert.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. All right.
So once you open your Tableau, you should have an interface like this. I'll take it little by little so that I won't rush. You should have an interface like this. However, some of us have created an account. So whenever we work on Tableau Public, we have Tableau Public, we have Tableau Desktop. If you are a student, you can download the Tableau Desktop for 1 year because it has more, it is more sophisticated. Like this one that I am opening is a Tableau Desktop. So if you on your Tableau Public, you probably might not see stuff like Microsoft Access, PDF files, spatial files, statistical. It is because you are using Tableau Public and I'm using Tableau Desktop. However, you can even download it and use it for just 14 days if you want. Now, this is our interface. Whenever we work on Tableau Public, our work is saved on cloud. So when you come to your file, you would see something like open from Tableau Public. But then we have not saved anything yet, so we don't need to go to that route. Now, I'll be sharing the data with us now, the data I'll be using tonight, just to get a bit of the hands-on. Now, but basically, this is what this interface is all about. We can connect to different server. Don't worry, your public does not have all of this, but you can connect to as much as 71 servers on Tableau. You can connect to as many as 71 servers. You can connect to MySQL. You can connect to a lot of servers, a lot of servers. You can connect to your PostgreSQL, you can connect to your SQL, your Oracle, SAP, and the likes, and so on and so forth. Now, you can get data directly from your Excel, from text, if your data is in a text form file or a text format, a JSON file, if it is from Microsoft Access, if it's PDF file, and many others, So for the sake of tonight's class, please everybody check the chat. I'll be sharing the data with us. That's the data I'll be using tonight for our class. So please just go to the file, the chat now and pick the data. Okay. I just sent the data, but lots of chat has gone ahead of it. So I'll be sharing the data again. So the data is loading. Now the data is on the chart. Please pick the data and download it now. Thank you for the reaction. So that's the data. Please, everybody, kindly download the data and just save it in your folder. So just save yours in your folder. So please let me know once you are finished saving yours. It's under 30 seconds. We should have been able to do that. So now our data is an Excel file, of course. So we just want to pick our data from our folder. So the thing we'll do is click on Microsoft Excel. So just go ahead and click on Microsoft Excel. Then it should take us to our folder. Then wherever you saved your data, select your data and open it. So we should have this interface. We should have this interface. We should have this interface. Okay, I'll be sending the data again for those that were unable to get it. I just sent it again. Please check. I just sent it to the group again. Now, you should have this interface. We should have this interface. Please, for those, if you have downloaded the data, I'll take it again. If you have downloaded your data, come to Microsoft Excel here. Once you open your Tableau, click on Microsoft Excel and select the data and open it. Then you should have an interface like this. So basically, this is our data source. This is our data source. So the first thing we want to do is to bring out our order. Once you bring out your order, you would see the rows and columns that are inside the data. You can even change the number of rows to 1,000 if you want. You can change it to 1,000 if you want. So once we bring out our data, we would see that once you bring out your order, you would see the information inside the data. As we can as well open the data in Excel to see what is in the data. We simply have 3 sheets in this data. We have the order sheet, we have the people and the returns. We have orders, we have people and returns. So once you bring out your orders, you should have the number of rows, and we would see that on the upper part we have the data types. We have the data types. We can see that there is a hash logo here. We can see there is ABC. The ABC simply means is a string data because it is ABC. They are string, and we can see that there is a calendar logo on the other date. It is simply telling us it is date. Simply telling us it is date. It's a date type of data. Then if we move further, if we move further, we would see the different types of data that we have. We can see that they are majorly string data, they are majorly dates and integers. We can see the one that looks like map is simply um, a place, like a country or a state from a particular country, and the rest are just string. They are string, and our integers, they are in numbers. They are in form of numbers with this hash indicator. So this is simply showing us what type of data we have in each of these our fields. And by fields, I mean in each of these columns. So, and while we are on this Tableau, I'm on this Tableau desktop, we can see live and extract. You might not have live and extract on yours. So it's an icon for you can connect to a server live, and you can as well extract. So having done that, I hope we're on the same page. Then we can now go to we can see sheet 1, we can see source. The source is simply our data source where we are working on. We can see sheet 1. Now, if we click on sheet 1, if you click on sheet 1, click on sheet 1, you should have an interface like this. I'm trying to take it as simple as possible. You should have an interface like this. Now, when we come to this interface, it's simply our work environment. This Canva is our work environment. This Canva is our work environment. Now, yeah, we have the rows and columns just as we have it in our Excel. It's the same thing, and this is our Canva. Now, when we start working, some of these things will be activated, but because we don't have anything in our Canva, it's not going to be activated yet. But we'll see, we'll get there, we'll get there. So basically, this is our data set. Now, our data set contains information concerning order and places and countries and states and different places where this organization is making profit or making sales. Now, naturally, before we get to this place, as a data analyst, we need to have understood this data properly. But I might not take us through showing us what the data looks like on Excel, but we can open it from our end, which it's a 3 sheets in one data, in a data set, and it has informations in the 3 sheets. Now, this data is simply a data of a particular country that has lots of states in it, and it has postal codes, it has rows, it has segments, it has ship dates, and a lot of other information. Now, when we look closely, we'll see that from our category down to measure names, we'll see they are in, let's say, light blue color, kind of light blue colors. This part of the data is called dimensions. And by dimension, I mean they are just information that are embedded in this particular data. They are dimensions because they just contain information, for example, like a customer name, like customer ID. We all know that a customer ID simply is referring to a particular customer. Now, when we come down, we would see something like when we see discounts, we see profit, we see quantity, we see sales. We see they are green, and they all have hash, 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 hash. They are simply called measures because they carry figure, they carry numbers, they carry figures. They carry 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They are figures, like monetary terms, so to say. So we need to understand this very well. The upper part of this data set here, they are called dimensions, and the down parts, they are called measures. So any statistical computation that we are going to do in this data set that has to do with number, everything will fall under the measures pane. Under the measure pane, we would see that there is a thin line separating both the measures and the dimensions, and they are different colors. The dimensions are light blue while the measures are in green. So the first thing we want to do is, looking at this data set, we would see that, for example, the city has map logo, the country has map logo, the postal code has map logo, state has map logo, and the region as well. So what do we want to do? The region is in string, but we'll change it to map because it is actually region of that particular country. Now, the first thing we want to do to make our work, to make it much more simpler, so that our workplaces does not look does not look anyhow. It's the first thing is we want to categorize this data by creating hierarchy. We want to create an hierarchy. For example, we can see category and subcategory. They are supposed to be in one house. So the first thing we want to do now is if we want to create if we want to create an hierarchy, the first thing is we'll click on, you can see a button right in front of this category. Once you click on this button, you would see hierarchy. You would see hierarchy. Once you see an hierarchy, you click on create because we want to create an hierarchy. Then once we click on create hierarchy, it says, okay, what is your hierarchy name? What name are we giving to this, our hierarchy? Let's name it items. Okay, I've given it IT, but I can rename it just like that. You can say item or items. Now we can see that category has automatically come under items. If I close this drop down button that is in front of the items, we'll see that we cannot see the categories again. So once you click on it, it brings out the category. Now we want to add our subcategory to these items. There are two ways that we can add our subcategories to be on the same path with category. We can either move it. You can hold your cursor and move it. You can move it and drop it under the category, and they become one in the same house, or at the same time. So whenever you make mistake on Tableau, just Ctrl Z. It will take you a step backward. So I just Ctrl Z whatever I did there, and I'll take it again. And at the same time, I can either hold and move the subcategory to go and join it under the items, or I can as well click on the button right in front of the subcategory. Once I click on the button, it gives me hierarchy again. Now this time around, because it has recognized that I have one hierarchy already, it is asking me now, do I want to create a new hierarchy, or I want to add it to the hierarchy items that I created before? So because I know I want my category and subcategory to be in the same house, I'm just going to add it to my items. And automatically it goes under subcategory, and they become one under items. And they become one under items. And they become one under items. So that way we have successfully created one hierarchy. Now I want to create another hierarchy for location, so that our postal code, our country, our state, they can all be in the same house as well. So now what do? We come to country, just as we did the other time. You can right click on it. You can right click, you can click on this button. At the same time, you come to hierarchy again, you create a new hierarchy, and we name it location. And we say, okay. So automatically, our country is under location. Now, after we might have added our country to location, we want to move the states. Like I said the other time, you can either hold and move it, state under country, then we can bring our city under states, then we should have one more thing there. We should have our postal code. Yes, these are postal code. We can move our postal code under city. I believe we're on the same page, but there is one last thing, which is our region. Our region is in string, so we have to change the data type. you have to change the data type of the region so that the data type can be under country. So for us to change our data type, the first thing we want to do is we'll come to this our region. We'll click on this button, or you right click. Once you click, you would see something like geographic role. You see geographic role because we want to create the region from the country. I mean, from the states, rather, from the states. So once you click on geographic role, you then see create from. You would see create from. We want to create it from our states. You want to create the regions from the states. So I'll take that again. So once you click or right click on region, you come to geographic role, then we'll click create from state. Once you say okay, automatically we'll see that our region data type has changed to a map or a country data type. Then we can now move it. We can now move the region to be under the country. So that way we have successfully created the two most important things, which are the items hierarchy and the location hierarchy. Yeah. So going forward, now after we might have done this, then the first thing we want to do is we want to visualize. We want to visualize one or two things. So let's say we want to know our sales information. For example, let's say we want to know our sales information. Please, we need to take care because it is very, very important not to make mistake. Now, the essence of hierarchy, Toriola, to answer your question, the essence of hierarchy is to group data that carries more like the same type of information. Is to group the data that carry the same information, to group them together. For example, the country, region, state, the city, and the postal code. They are under, everything is under country. So, for example, if I want to see the sales record of the whole country, let's say this data set carries or has 2 or more countries in it, and let's say US and UK, and I say, and in the country table, I have UK and US, and I click on let's say sales and country, and it gives me information about the 2 countries. Now, if I want to further break it down, then I'll select region for me to know the different regions that those sales were made from. Then it will break down into region. Or if I want to further say, okay, these are by region, I want to know the sales by state, then I can further break it down by state. If I want to say, okay, I want to know it by city, I can then break it down by city. We would see this thing that I'm talking about as we move along. We can use this category and subcategory to visualize this. So now, the first visualization we want to create is we want to create a sales by region or sales by category visualization. So the first thing we want to do now is okay, I want to visualize sales by category. So the first thing I will do is I can bring in my sales. Your sales is on the down part. Your sales is in the measure side. If I bring in my sales, If I bring it to rows, please be careful and let's try as much as possible to follow along. Just drag and drop. I'll take it again. Just drag and drop. So if I bring in my sales to my rows, okay, I can see the total sales is around 200K and above. Then I want to say, okay, where were these sales made? Or what categories is this sales all about? Then I can just move my items. Don't forget your categories and subcategory, the two are under items. So if you move items, it simply means you are moving both the category and the subcategory. So if I move my item to my columns, we can see that this organization now, they have 3 categories of products like furniture, office supplies, and technology. Now, that is the main category that this organization deals in. Now, like I mentioned the other time when somebody asked what is the hierarchy for. Now, majorly, this should answer your question. If I break it down by subcategories, these are the subcategories that are inside the category. Now, you would see that the heading is saying furniture, office supplies, and technology. And before I broke it down to subcategories, the headings, they were just below here, indicating the name of this category. Yeah. Now, if I further break it down to subcategory, to see the information that are to see the information that are inside the category. Now, the subcategories that are in the category of furniture, they are bookcases, chairs, furnishings, and tables. Those are the subcategories, the sub-products that are in the main product. I don't know if that makes sense. Those are the sub-products that are in the main product. Now, if we now come into office supplies, we would see the products that are in office supplies. To even make this visualization more appealing, we can then say, okay, let's move our item into color. Good. Now, this is what I just did. Now, if you look at this pane, this pane, you would see color, you would see size, you would see label, you would see detail, you would see tooltip. Now, the color is for you to just put color on your visualization so that the information you are passing is distinct. As we all see, this is just blue, 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 blue. Everything is just blue. It's bluing. And the blue is too much. Then I can move my items to color, for example, and it breaks down the color. And then I know that, okay, furniture is blue, office supply is this yellow or pink, and technology is this color that looks like red. I'm not so good with colors. I mean their names, but visualization and so to make it more appealing, we decided to give our visualization color. So we know that anything concerning office supplies, is this yellow? Let's call it yellow. Anything concerning furniture is blue. Anything concerning technology is this red-like color. Now, let me now take it back. Let me take it back for a bit. Let's break it back to just category. We will see this is what it will give us, and this will only give us the overall sales record of this data. Now we can even say, okay, I don't want this on my x-axis. I don't want this information. You can, if you right click on this, you will see show header. If you click on show header, it will go. Yeah. Now, if I bring in my sales, I want to say, okay, I don't want these bars to be the same. I want these bars to be according to the sizes of their sales. Then I can now move these sales to size. We can see that the bars, they changed a bit. We can see that the bars, they changed a bit, meaning that technology has the fattest bars, followed by furniture, then office supplies. I can say, okay, what more can I do? I can even label this visualization. Let me put my sum sales on label. Then the sales amount is shown on the bars. And whatever you do, you would be seeing all the steps here. You'll be seeing all the steps here. So even from here, you can open up your your category and your subcategory. But of course, we don't necessarily need that. We close it back and we have this information. So basically for beginner level, we can have this kind of visualization just to know the sales amount of the different categories of products that our organization is into. And if we say, okay, want to break it down further to see the information, we can see that the bars, according to each categories, the bars are according to their sales amount. So this way, if the organization is asking their strategy team, okay, what do we do about this product? It's not really making sales, and this art product, this fasteners under office supplies is not making sales. This labels is not really making sales. It's really, really bad. What can we do? That is when the the strategy team will come up with strategies to improve sales on this particular product. That is why we say the job of a data analyst is to help organizations make business informed decisions. So this way, we are simply telling the organization that, see, you guys need to come up with a strategy to sell more in art, to sell more in envelopes, to sell more in fasteners. That then they can decide to say, okay, we want to have a discount on some of these products, and they can decide to run ads and all of that so that their clients will see, and they will decide, oh, they are running ads. Let me come and buy sharply to keep some for myself. And on these current products that are making huge sales, they can decide to increase their sales amount by adding some amount of money on those products, so that if they are making loss on some of these products, they are making the gains back on some other products. So that is that concerning strategies from organizations and all of that. So then when we have visualization like this, then we can decide to format this visualization. And how do you go about formatting our visualization? What you just need to do is right click on any of these bars. You right click, you would see format. You would see format. Once you select your format, this pane will come up for you. So in case you click on any of these the bars and you have something like this, you can click again on that bar and everything will come up. So we should have something like this for our for the formatting. So before you format, you will see something like fields here. If we select the field, we would see category and sales. We'll see category and sales. The reason why we are seeing just category and sales is because those are the only information we have visualized. For example, let me close this thing and let me say, okay, I want to, what is this? What is the profit? What is the profit on this product? If we bring that in, we can see the profit. Let's not even do it this way. Now, I talked about, sorry, if you have done this, you can simply Control Z it and you are okay this way. Now, there's something I want to show us. If we come into tooltip, tooltip, this is actually what our tooltip is like. When you bring your cursor to any of the bars, you would see it giving you category and sales. It is simply showing you us information concerning the bar. Yeah. So this category that shows technology and sales that the tooltip is showing, that is simply our tooltip. However, we can always add information into our tooltip. And how do we add information into our tooltip? For example, if we say, okay, the sales amount for this for the whole of furniture is 742,000. What is the profit on this furniture? Then we can now move our profit. We can move profit into details. When you want to include an information in your tooltip, you put that information in details. Once you put it in details, you now add it from your tooltip. For example, let me say I drop my some profit on detail. Bam, I've dropped it. Then I'll come to, can you see that immediately I bring my cursor on technology, I can see profit amount on technology. I can see the profit amount on technology already, but this might not be really appealing to the eyes. Then I will now go into the tooltip itself. I will go into the tooltip itself. I'll go into the tooltip itself. I'll go into the tooltip itself. Then I can now decide that, okay, my category, should I give it color? Mind you, if you don't highlight before you do anything, it will not be effective. It will not be effective. So let me say I want to bring my sales, I want to change the color. I can come to the color. Once I might have highlighted it, click on the color, select black. That is what I want. I click out. I can see the black has taken effect. And I come to profit. I do the same. I select black. Or I say, okay. I come to category. I select black. I say, okay, fine. Now, if I'm fine with this, if this font, okay. If not, I can select the font, and let me say I want to use establish semi-bold, for example, and I want to increase the font size to 11, for example, and I come to profit, I do the same, I change it to semi-bold, I change the font size to 11, I come to sales, I do the same thing, I change the font size to 11, I say okay. Now, before even doing any other thing, we can see that it has taken effect in the tooltip. The category, the font size has increased. I can then go back into the category and say, okay, I want the category tooltip to be green. I want it to be, let me say, I want it to be Times New Roman, and I want my font to be 12. And I come to some sales. I say, okay, my some sales should be blue. I change the font size, the font to same. I change that to 12. And my some sales, I do the same thing. I change the font size, the font type as well, to let's say 11, and I want to say, okay, what color should I give? Let me just select this color, and I say okay. So immediately I come to my tooltip, I see all of this information. So that way I can now decide to even remove my sales from label. For example, I can decide to remove my sales from label. So whenever you want to remove anything from your visualization, if it is within this pane, you can just come and drag it out. You can just come and drag it out. You can come and drag it out, and you can Ctrl Z it again. Now, having done this, I now want to format my visualization. Just as we did the other time, if we right click on any of the bars, we click on format, and we have this pane. And this will be the last thing we'll be rounding up with. We have this pane. So I want to make this my visualization look a bit appealing. Let me say I come to my let's say it's my pane. I can select establish semi-bold. Now, don't forget, I need you to see that the worksheet, if you format anything on the worksheet, it will affect your entire worksheet. That is why it is called worksheet. But if you want to format anything that has to do with your current Canva, you will always come to your pane. If you want to format the header, you come to header, and so on and so forth. So I want to format my pane. I've selected the font size that I want. I want it bold. I say okay. Okay. Then the next thing. Yeah, and also I was telling us the other time that we would select our field so that we would format the particular information we want to format. So here now I want to format just the sales. Just the sales. I'll click on the sales, and this is what I will have. Now, but because I did not select any of this information, that is why I have the whole of the worksheet and the every other thing. But if I select a particular information that I want to format, like the sum sales, I should have something like this. Then the font automatically, I formatted it. Then I want to format these numbers. I don't like the way they are standing. Then I'll come to numbers. We can see that we have different types of, we have the number standard, number custom, currency standard, currency custom. Now we want to use the currency custom. You see that immediately I click on currency custom, the whole number is changing. So in my currency custom, I want to deplete my decimal places to 0. Now we would see that I'm using dollars. If you're in the UK, you can use pounds. If you're in Nigeria, you can use naira as you want. Now, my display unit, I don't want it to be just like this. I want it to be in case, because this is in thousands. So if I select thousands, I'll just have 836K. And that way, I formatted my visualization. Now, all this information below, I don't need them because everything is in my tooltip. So I can just right click on this information. However, you can format it. Don't forget, you can format it if you want to. But I'm not interested in having this information because it is always in my tooltip. So I can then show header and it will go off. And that way, I have successfully formatted my first visualization. So if I bring it down, this is what I will have. This is what I will have. However, because of time, naturally, all of these white lines, we can actually take them off. If we go back to the format pane, we would see something like lines. We can see 0 lines. We'll take it off. We'll take it none. We'll say none. The trend lines. Once you off everything, you say none. The lines will disappear, and you have a blank Canva, just like this. So we have to go into so just like this, we have a blank Canva. We can see that the the grid lines that is in between the visualization, everything has disappeared. Even all these lines, these ones, we can take them all off. Can take them all off. So that way our visualization will just be like this. So with this, I'll be rounding up, and I would love to give us an assignment. So as we can see that the column divider, I've taken it out. And this way, we have just a line that differentiates the name of the sheet. And if we want to name our sheet, just to give it a more appealing information, where we have our sheet 1, just double click on it. Once you double click on it and it has been highlighted, you can say sales by category. Once you click your enter, it will automatically come to the top of the sheet. Then you can now go into it. If you want to edit it, you can just double click on the sheet. You double click. You must not change this sheet name, but you would highlight it. You can then change the font size and the font type that you will want according to how you want it. Then you click apply. And whenever you apply, you click out, because everything has been applied. Okay, everything has been applied. So the assignment I'll be giving to us tonight is this. I want us to visualize profits by category. I want us to visualize profit by category. Then after visualizing it, we should format it, take out all the lines on the Canva, label the profit on the categories, just as we have this. Label the profit, and in the profit tooltip, let us introduce sales into the detail, then format our tooltip. Just as we formatted this tooltip, format our tooltip to show information like this. And in our formatting, we should have just case. We should have case. We should have it in thousands, just to show us in case we are adding something into the what's it called, into the detail. We can change that to case, and we are fine. So that will be our assignment for when next we'll be meeting. So thank you very much for listening.
All right. Thank you so much for this. I think for me, it was very insightful, and I was trying my best to follow along too.
Thank you. No, you can stop recording. That's fine. Yeah.